Morning, 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 morning. Welcome to another episode of Ty Sports Picks 24. Look down at the bottom, you see the cash out. Please donate if you'd like to support the channel. $ TY Rebel 22. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ty Sports Picks 24. Now let's get to the picks. But first, let's look at the title. NFL Sunday Ticket, Week 2. And also, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me fix that at the bottom. It says Week 3 is supposed to be Week 2. Can I fix it? Give me 1 second. Well, we'll just ignore that. Let's see. But here goes the pick. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got Dallas -2.5. We have Tampa Bay +7.5. We have Indy -2.5. We have the Jets -2.5. We have San Francisco money line. We have New England money line. We have Washington -2.5. We have the LA Chargers -2.5. The Jacksonville Jaguars -2.5. Baltimore money line. Also, we got the Rams +7.5. We got Cincinnati +7.5. And then we have the Houston Texans -2.5. And then just in case I don't get to come on tomorrow because I have some arrangements, the Monday night pick is going to be Philadelphia over Atlanta money line. So I'm going to give you guys a second to put in those picks. And then before we get into the details of the show, I do want to do a special shout out. We're going to do an athlete spotlight. Someone requested tomorrow. So let me pull that gentleman up. But you guys please put your picks in. It's a great Sunday, a great NFL morning. We had a lot of college football. Everybody saw Georgia nearly lose it. We saw Miami put up another great performance. Cam Ward had 5 passing touchdowns. He was out right after halftime. But the young man I want to do a spotlight on, he's actually a relative I was told yesterday, Markel Jones, out of Sanford, Florida, went to Lake Mary High School. He's a sophomore now. He was a freshman last year. As a freshman in the spring of 2023, 2024, he actually was recognized as male freshman of the year for the 2024 indoor season in track at South Florida. He placed first in the 60 meter hurdle with a time of 7.81. He did that at an American Indoor Track and Field Championship in February on the 23rd, and also on the February 3rd, earlier in that month, he placed first in the 400 meter with a time of 47.08 at Boston University. So shout out to the young man, Markel Jones, not just because he's a relative, but because he's doing great things at South Florida. And speaking of South Florida, that's going to be Miami's opponent, I believe 7:30 or 7 o'clock on Saturday night. This upcoming Saturday, the University of Miami will go up to South Florida. So shout out to Markel, shout out to Red, Chubby, and everybody up there in Sanford. But let's get to the NFL things today. So we all know what's going on with Tua Tagovailoa. I just actually read up online that he's going to see a neurologist this week. I don't know why it isn't immediately. I mean, I thought with the NFL, like, everything would be expedited, but sometime this week, they say. So they don't say exactly when he'll be going to see a neurologist. But we're going to go with the ESPN really quick and just check out the schedule. I want to go game by game, even though I've given you guys some of my picks. I do have one bonus. So if you guys stay tuned, I have one bonus pick. Everything else is already in the chat because, it's not as many NFL games as it is MLB in a week or college football. So I like to give you guys a bunch, and I only hold back one on you. So to make sure you watch the rest of the show, I do have one bonus pick. Let's go over to ESPN.com and let's take a look at the schedules. And we're also going to take a look at the injury reports. So we'll see if anything changes, and we may have to change some of our picks. Keep in mind that Christian McCaffrey is out for 4 weeks now with that lower leg, lower extremity injury. He's now on injury reserve because the coach, Kyle Shanahan, said that he had his worst day of practice on Thursday, I believe, as far as pain goes. But first and foremost, we got Tom Brady, the new announcer for Fox. He's going to be announcer for the Dallas Cowboys, my Dallas Cowboys, the greatest team in the world, as they take on the New Orleans Saints. Now, the line is -6.5. That's a lot of points. The Saints performed well last week, So that's why I took it down to 2.5. But look out for Dak to put together another great performance. I'm not sure if they're going to activate Dalvin Cook. Ezekiel Elliott look well, and Rico Dowdle. If you look over here in the corner, you see that skirmish that they had last week between the Chargers and the Raiders. I hope we don't have any of that today. We just want to make it a great football Sunday. You know, it's a family day. We don't need any shenanigans. Now we got Tampa Bay and the Detroit Lions. So, you know, I'm a Florida guy, but I got to think with my head and not with my heart. The reason why I'm going to go Tampa Bay plus 7.5, I don't think they lose by more than the touchdown. It may be a field goal game. We're going to show some video later, some clips. You know, I love to go on Instagram and show you the visual and not just the audio. But I think Baker Mayfield, they may be able to pull off the upset. So that's why I don't want to go on the Lions side of minus 7.5. I'd rather go plus 7.5. So maybe they lose by 7, but they may get the upset victory because Baker, he's on a mission. You know, just ask Washington last week because Washington is not a bad team. They're probably average, but the Bucs put 37 on them. Now we have the Colts visiting the Packers. Now I usually would go with the Packers, but with Malik Willis at the helm, with Jordan Love being out with an injury, I believe Anthony Richardson is way too much. Anthony Richardson and the Colts nearly beat C.J. Stroud last week. So they're a lot to deal with. So that's why I went with the Colts. I went with the Colts minus 2.5. I think these are equally matched teams, but the difference is the quarterback position. Now, we have the New York Jets. A lot of people want the Jets big over the Titans, but you see Vegas knows something that we don't know. The Jets still are meshing as a team. They show some good things, some bad things. They do have a defensive advantage. Though the Titans' defense is not bad. It kept them in the game last week. But I just feel like the Jets are shooting on all cylinders when you talk about the quarterback, when you talk about Garrett Wilson at receiver, when you talk about Breece Hall to go along with Braylon Allen and the defense. I feel like the Jets will go on the road, but don't expect a large victory. So that's why I went with the Jets. I'm sorry, minus 2.5. If you want to go that minus 4, I can see that because that's what Vegas is giving. But I said minus 2.5, but you can go up to the minus 4. Now, this is a dangerous game because the Vikings are a quarterback-friendly system. They have a nice defense. The running game is by committee, but you have Justin Jefferson, and he's already said he is not Garrett Wilson. The 49ers will not clamp him down. So he's talking a lot of cash money. Now, Vegas has the 49ers winning by minus 4.5. I have it just money line. I don't see a big victory. Now, if you want to go the opposite way, maybe you go money line and you go plus 7.5 for the Vikings. But I wouldn't really take too many points in the favor of the 49ers because I feel like they'll pull it out the same way they pulled it out with Aaron Rodgers in the game. But on the road, going into that dome inside Minnesota, I feel like they'll have a rude awakening. Okay, now we got Seattle at New England. Upset alert. This is the first upset of the day. They have Seattle minus 3. I would take New England money line, or I would take New England plus 7.5. So it depends on if you're feeling froggy. I just took a money line. This is upset alert. New England went into Cincinnati and won. It's hard to come to New England. Jacoby Brissett, he's going to be efficient. I know Geno Smith is a great quarterback. So let's just go New England plus 7.5. So I'm going to leave what I got on the screen. But if you guys are paying attention and watching the show, let's go New England plus 7.5. But I would have an eye out on them maybe for live betting. If you see them in the game and they have a lead, maybe like around third quarter, go ahead and put in that live bet, put a couple dollars down for New England money line. Now, I know a lot of people saying Daniel Jones is like 5-1 against the Commanders. Not today, my friend. This will be 5-2 because the Commanders have a new commander in the league, and Jaden Daniels, the first round pick. He showed some good things against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just a heck of a team. They still have a lot of great players left behind from those old Tom Brady and Antonio Brown and Bruce Arians teams. But at home, the Commanders crowd is going to be the first home game. They're excited for the young rookie quarterback. I got the Commanders minus 1.5, and money line is what Vegas is giving them. I'm going to give the Commanders minus 2.5. But you can go minus 1.5 in money line. There's no need to make it a field goal, you know. Okay, now we got the Chargers visiting the Panthers. terrible team in the Panthers, and it won't get any better because the Chargers play keep away football. J.K. Dobbins had 10 carries for 135 yards and a touchdown on the ground, and that's not to mention eventually Justin Herbert will get it right with the tight ends and maybe throwing some short passes to the wide receivers. You don't have to have a playmaker. Sometimes you just need the guys that's going to make the plays that need to be made. And what I mean by playmaker or game changer is what I meant to say. Sometimes you just need a guy that's just going to make the first down, move the sticks, and let the running game and the defense handle it. Shout out to Bosa and shout out to that linebacking core and everything they got over there. Asante Samuel Jr. You know, they got some real tools over there in LA with the Chargers. Now we got the Browns visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. This one can get ugly. The Jaguars are a good team. Jacksonville is on the ropes. I would take I'm sorry. The Jags are a good team and the Browns are on the ropes. Don't let that Dolphins loss fool you. Dolphins just have some type of thing with Buffalo, but the Jags are not a bad team. They're actually very improved. Deshaun Watson's probably going to have a long day, you know. So look at it. They're giving you a -3. I would just make it a -2.5, so it's the field goal because -3 means more than the field goal. So -2.5 and money line for the Jaguars. Okay, now you have the Raiders visiting the Ravens. I still believe in the Raiders, but not today. But I don't think. I mean, you could take that -8.5, but I would probably go. Let's just do Baltimore money line because I don't know how much points that the Raiders might get in garbage time, and you never know, they can bring it within 10. So I just think you would go money line. I don't really want to play with the line with that because I know Gardner Minshew, he's a gunslinger. He will not give up. The coach, Antonio Pierce, will not give up. The Raiders will not win this game, but they will not just lay down and roll over because this is Lamar Jackson. So that's why I don't really like that -8.5 points. -8.5 points would mean that they're going to win by 10. That's a lot of points in the NFL. If you want to do maybe -2.5 in money line for the Ravens, okay, I can see that. Okay, now the Rams and the Cardinals. The Cardinals showed up last week, but will they be consistent? I don't know. I don't have faith in them. I do have faith in the Rams, so they're going. I think this is an evenly called match. There's no real line there. It says even. No, it says the spread is off, so they have these evenly matched teams. But I believe a little bit more in the Rams on the road. But this is the Cardinals' home game, so let's go Rams +6.5. So up here on the screen, I had the Rams +7.5. So let's go Rams +7.5. Yeah, let's go Rams +7.5. Okay, now the first bonus and the only bonus of the day. You bet you got it. Pittsburgh on the road at Denver. Denver showed some good things. They got Pittsburgh -2.5. Do I want to take that big of a spread for Pittsburgh? Let's try to get that down to -1. Let's try. You know what? No. We're just going to go Pittsburgh money line because I feel like the Broncos might. No. You know what? I changed my mind. I know I'm all over the place. Let's go Broncos +7.5. Because I got Pittsburgh winning by either a field goal or a touchdown. Because they're not that explosive, but their defense is crazy. I'll just go Pittsburgh money line just to be safe. But I would try to be safe for Broncos +7.5. Or let's go Pittsburgh money line. Because the Broncos can win this at home. So beware of that. They can win this at home. You know, they believe in Bo Nix. He showed some good things. They almost came back against Seattle, so they're not just going to lay down. But that Pittsburgh defense is a lot to deal with. Now we got Cincinnati at the 4 o'clock hour, 4:25 on CBS. Everybody wants to see Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes, but Joe Burrow is not mobile like he usually is. He's still dealing with the leg injury. And now Jamar Chase, we're going to bring that up. He's no longer negotiating his contract with Cincinnati. I wouldn't be surprised if he set out the game, but it's very seldom you see a guy break their hold in or hold out and then go back against it and then sit out because that would be fines. So I did see that he put out a multi-million-dollar insurance policy on himself. So shout out to Jamar Chase. I'm sorry. Basically, they're on the road at Kansas City. Usually Kansas City doesn't do well against the Bengals, but how about this? Let me bring it back up. How about this with the Kansas City and the Bengals game? We're gonna go to Bengals plus 7.5, plus 7.5. So to keep it within 10 points, not within the touchdown, but within 10 points, because they're giving Kansas City -6. I would go the Bengals plus 7.5 before the game, but depending on how the game's going come third quarter, maybe you put that money line in for the Chiefs. But for right now, I would not take a money line on either side, because if the Bengals can keep Joe Burrow upright and he can deal with that injury, he's always a Patrick Mahomes killer. So let's be aware. Okay, now the Sunday night game. People think it's going to be close. I don't know about that. You got the Bears versus the Texans. They're giving the Texans. They were giving them. Well, I don't know. I'm giving them -2.5 and money line. I can see Caleb Williams being a gunslinger, making some throws. He had a bad day last week, but they brought out the win. They're definitely not going to win, even though I believe in the Bears long term tonight. Not in Houston, baby. I'm sorry. So I'm going to take Houston -2.5 and money line. If you want to take the 6.5, I'm not mad at you. Okay, now to review what happened on Thursday night. If you didn't know, everybody wants to talk about Tua Tagovailoa. Prayers are definitely up for him, especially on the Jesus Sunday. But the Bills came into Miami even before Tua got hurt and got a 31-10 win over the Miami Dolphins. But don't be fooled by that. The Dolphins are still a competitive team. I know they're talking about bringing in a veteran quarterback, maybe trading for someone, maybe signing Ryan Tannehill. I would take my time with that. Skylar Thompson, you've regressed since you've been drafted as a rookie. I actually used to believe in Skylar Thompson. I don't know what's going on up here, but you got to get it together, guy. And also, a lot of these teams that don't want to sign competitive backups because they don't want their starter quarterback to feel threatened, who cares? You look at it at the college, the high school, the NFL level. Competition breeds success. If I have a guy that doesn't want a guy that's good behind him because he's scared he's going to lose his job, you're not the guy for the job. And now you end up in situations like Green Bay or like the Dolphins where you don't have a good backup, and now the rest of the team is held captive. So Skylar Thompson, you need to step it up. But also, this needs to be a precautionary tale for all teams moving forward. We will not coddle the feelings of any player. Competition breeds success. So moving on, and also a very special shout out to James Cook from Miami Central that came down here and scored 3 touchdowns. That's the most he's ever scored in his NFL career. Now, finally, for the Monday night game, we got the Falcons. Kirk Cousins trying to bounce back after that loss where they got basically dominated by Pittsburgh's defense. Now they're going on the road to the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not biased. The Eagles will fly. Money line. Now, taking them -6, that's a lot of points. If you're going to take any points, take a -1. Take a -2.5. But I would just stick to money line because I doubt Kirk Cousins is just going to lie down and roll over and play dead. Now, if you want to take points with the Eagles, we're going to take the -2.5. That's the most I'll give you, for that Monday night game. So now let me do my final segment before we get out of here. Well, actually, I got 2 more. Let's check out on the injury reports really quick. So that's what we're going to do really quick. We're going to look up the NFL injury reports because that may dictate something with some of my picks, but I doubt it. So this is the official week 2 injury reports. This is the morning time. It's like 7 a.m., so this can be tentative. Some of these injuries may change, but as of now, we're going to skip the Dolphins and Bills because that game's over with. As of now, we're just going to go to the guys that are doubtful. We're not going to go with the whole practice thing. We're going to move fast. So Fonga for San Francisco is doubtful. Christian McCaffrey is out. Winters is questionable. We got Jordan Addison out. Ooh. So that might be bad for the Vikings. Naylor questionable. Harrison Smith questionable. O'Neal questionable. So what do we have for Minnesota? I had Minnesota. Who are they playing? San Francisco. So I had it money line, right? I had it money line. We'll just leave it there. Okay, so now we got Seattle. The only person you got out is Brown. Got a couple guys questionable. Jerome Baker questionable. Okay, I'm sorry. Also, you have Nwosu at linebacker also out for Seattle. So yeah, that can affect their defense. That's why I'm taking the Patriots money line. But let's see what the Patriots have out. They only have Sal offensive tackle is out, so they have to sure that up. Now when we go with the Jets have nobody out, and neither do Tennessee. Okay, now we going to the Giants. They got McLeod out. You got a linebacker out. And then you also have a wide receiver, a backup wide receiver out. Okay, then you got Forbes out for the Commanders, but they've been playing well without him. Okay, now we got the Bucks. The Bucks are missing a tackle, so that can be costly. Then they're missing Hayes, and they're missing Kalijah Cansey. Now that can be a lot. And they're missing Antoine Winfield Jr. So hey, you might want to take the points with Detroit. For right now, that Detroit game, what do we have? Yeah, Tampa Bay plus 7.5. I still believe in Baker, so we'll say plus 7.5. Okay, we got a safety out for the Lions. We also got Williams at wide receiver out. Those are not major factors. Okay, so DeMarco Jackson out for the Saints. And then they also got Saunders missing at D tackle. The Cowboys are only missing a backup receiver in Stevens. Now we got a Blackman out for the Colts, and then for the Packers and Jordan Love, of course, they're saying he's questionable. He's not going to play. Don't believe that. And if Jordan Love does play, cash out if he plays. So don't put that on the parlay. Okay, so now we got two out. We got Richardson and Wilson out for the Raiders. They're not major factors. Richardson is. So, but we went with Baltimore, and then they got Nate Wiggins out for Baltimore. Okay, Njoku is out for the Browns. That's horrible because he's like their best receiving threat, and then the tackle Willis is also out. Jacksonville, they're missing Savage at safety, and that'll be all. Okay, got it, guys. Questionable. Nobody's out for the Chargers as of now. Nobody's out for the Panthers. Okay, so now Davis Allen is out for the Rams, but they'll be able to plug guys in, at tight end. And then we got a guard missing for the Steelers. Their line is already on the ropes. That's why I say, hey, with that Steelers game, we're taking. Oh yeah, that was the bonus. We're taking Denver like plus 7.5. Plus 7.5. Denver, they have a backup receiver out with a rib injury. We got Chris Jenkins out for the Bengals at defensive tackle. And we got a healthy bill of health for Kansas City. And then Keenan Allen. He's questionable for the Bears, but they're missing the center Bates. They're missing their fullback. And the only person that's out is Stewart at safety for the Texans. So, yeah. Now, for Monday Night Football, this can change, but they already missing Hamilton and Landman on the defense for the Falcons, while Philly so far has everybody. So, that's pretty much the injury report for today. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the world of Instagram, NFL, and then we'll get out of here. I want you guys to be able to put in your picks early, so that's why we come up early on Jesus Sunday. Not to offend anybody that may not believe, but it's a free country, free to speech, and it's a sports show. All right, so if we go look up NFL on Instagram, one second, I'm pulling it up so you guys can see what's going on the Instagram segment of the show. We got a little video footage I want you guys to take a look at, and always follow NFL on Instagram, NFL ESPN also. So if you take a look here, sorry, just taking a little second. Okay, here we go. So Now, if you guys haven't heard, of course, Kendrick Lamar will be the headliner for the Super Bowl in New Orleans on February 9th. So it's been a lot of controversy about it. They're saying Jay-Z is behind this. You know, he's conspiring against Lil Wayne and Cash Money. But this is a sports show. We're just reporting on who's it going to be now. For Sunday Night Football, they just got a nice little advertisement for Caleb Williams and C.J. Stroud, the Bears quarterback and the Texans quarterback. And then we got Baker Mayfield. This is the big afternoon game. The Bucks and the Lions. You know, these guys were actually drafted in the same draft class, I believe. So this is going to be a 1 o'clock game on Fox. It's a lot of history to this. You know, both of these guys are early round picks. No, I'm sorry. They were both first overall picks. Goff in 2016 and Baker in 2018. So this is just commissioner calling their names on draft days. So remember, Goff went to the Rams, led them to a Super Bowl, but the coach didn't believe in him. Baker went to the Cleveland Browns. They've been struggling before him and after him, and Baker is doing well. So sometimes it's not the player, it's the organization. So this is just some highlights from these guys' past career, their past teams before they became the star quarterbacks at their new teams. Now let's move on. Madden ratings. Is Madden being biased towards offensive players? Because Joe Burrow, he's 93. He missed last year. He hasn't shown much. Patrick Mahomes is a 99. I can understand. Mike Evans, 92. But then they got Amon-Ra St. Brown at a 95. I don't know about that. Give Mike some more love. Okay, now we got Lattimore higher than Diggs. Diggs is only at 89. I don't agree with that. Then they got Deebo Samuel as an 87, but they got Justin Jefferson as a 98. So do you guys agree with these Madden ratings? I know even if you don't play a video game, just rating players, like, do you feel like Jefferson is that much better than Deebo? Okay, then we got the rookies, Malik Neighbors in the Giants versus Jaden Daniels in the Commanders. This is going to be a 1 o'clock game on Fox. That's why you got to have that NFL Sunday ticket, like the title says. So this is just a little advertisement. Fox, they're getting hyped for it. Malik, they're telling this quarterback, Daniel Jones, just throw him the ball. He didn't know what was going on last week against the Vikings. He didn't disparage his quarterback, but he just feels like, they can do some good things. He's the savior, and he's here. So basically, that's going to be my rundown for the day. I may come back on and do a college football review. I'll probably wait till the top 25 comes out around 1 o'clock, 1:30. And we'll take a look forward to that South Florida and Miami game. You got Georgia and Alabama coming in 2 weeks, so both of them have a bye week. The SEC, they used to have a bye week before Alabama and LSU. Now Alabama and Georgia is the big game. But you got to look out for Texas because the backup quarterback for Texas had like 4 or 5 touchdowns yesterday. I almost call him Eli Jr., Arch Manning, which is the grandson of Archie Manning and the son of Cooper Manning. So he's one of those Manning guys. Peyton Manning was saying that he got the grandfather's running ability, and he got the passing ability, and it skipped those guys. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up, and then we'll get out of here. I know this is an NFL show, but I just, I'm passionate about the game. So here it goes right here. So right here, Adam Schefter says Mannings are not supposed to move like this. So if you take a look, you see a long run by Arch Manning. He came in for Quinn Ewers. Okay, so now this is the passing touchdown. Now here it goes running. So that's past the 50. So that got to be like a 55, 60-yard touchdown run. And now this is his uncle Peyton Manning. My dad's speed and athletic ability skipped a generation and went to Arch, which is the grandson and the nephew. It did not come to me and Eli. So, hey, it happens like that sometimes. But it's all in the Manning family. Shout out to the Manning family. Hotty toddy, because that's a big Ole Miss family. I met some of those guys in person. You guys